People tell you to be anything you want. Peep this. 20 years later, we was just kids. Sweet this. If you hot in the summertime, grab the monkey wrench and open the hydrant. Drain hope. We're hopeless. I wish I could pull the plug on this tub until his dreams dope. But no, in the ghetto you learn to fix things. Never hear a bird chirp, see a fish swim. Cornflakes from a white box, peanut butter from a white can. Oh, you want a better life? Well, that shit is for the white man. Got no antenna, grab aluminum foil, put sugar in the water, make a soup when it boil. And if I die today, it's not cause I talk back. If I die today, it's because I talk black. Learn the places to buy a hot grub with your food stamps, white shirts and jeans, sneakers that's clean, no college recruits, military recruits, no knowledge for youth, more violence for you, then more silence ensues. Get shot with your hands up, but you was running, man. You got choked to death where you was selling shit. So I can't run, nor can I sell shit. So I'm fat and broke with nothing to smoke.
And get there through here, because this train track doesn't run anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
I grew up playing these playgrounds, these makeshift yards that were made out of buildings that have been broken down or burned down, and people would throw abandoned cars and trash in there. And I remember one time I went home and my mom was sick, and I told her that I'd grab her a needle from the place where I play. And at that point I'd always thought that a needle was what cured you or what helped you when you were sick. You know, and I didn't realize that there was a bad needle. This was about the time of the AIDS epidemic in Philadelphia. My mom was really scared after that, letting me play in that yard. Sometimes I sort of wish I could go back and sieve out all the needles from all the places where kids play in Philadelphia.
So I often think about those playground alleyways, and one memory comes to mind. Me and some cousins of mine were sitting inside one of these cars, sort of pretending that we were driving around the city, and one of my aunts yells out, "Ice cream, ice cream!" All my cousins were much older than me. They all ran and sort of like left me in the car, and I sort of did what I saw them all do, which was jump out of the window of the car. But when I did, my leg got caught in the door, a piece of metal got stuck in my leg. So the funny thing about that was I was thinking about being in surgery and getting my leg all sewn back up. And I remember looking through the window of the room, the operating room, and my cousin was looking at me through the window, and he swung a can of Minute Maid soda. And that's all I could think about was tasting it and having that cold drink. I think maybe, and even in some ways, I was thinking back then, even as a little kid, that didn't matter what pain you had to go through as long as you could sort of get that soda at the end of it. There's always a prize at the end of pain. I don't know if it's the experience or what you learn from it. Sort of just learn how to piece it together. I think pretty much every night we had some sort of rice. Often it was rice and beans. You could always tell how good things were going, because if things were going well, we'd have rice, beans, and chicken. And if maybe not so well, it would be corned beef, and then eggs, and then eventually just rice. But there'd always be hot food at home, and I always look forward to it. I think one of the first times I ever tried the potter's wheel, I thought to myself of what I'd done in my life to get to this point where I could do something like this, and seeing a wheel turn immediately made me think of my dad, who'd drive from Philly to Cherry Hill, New Jersey to start his workday off. And I thought to myself, if somebody could drive their bike so far just to start their day of work, their day of hard labor, there's really no reason why I can't put that much effort into my everyday life, sort of overcome obstacles or what people think of me. I have 50-something first cousins, and I think I might be the only one with diabetes. Losing my hair, morbidly obese. I always had a hard time being good at anything. But at some point, a professor told me to try the potter's wheel, my first art class. And I've been making pots ever since. And I think in some ways art adjusts to what we need it to be. And it becomes that difference maker where we could focus on the thing that we like to do, the thing that brings us bliss, the thing that brings us joy. And eventually through that process we find what we're good at, because we create it. I think one of the things that intrigues me about being a potter is having people see me be a potter, be a person of color, making pots, making art, doing these things you wouldn't necessarily expect, because there's enough made of people that become athletes or even possibly in politics. There's always the really famous people that do something great out in the world, but the more we get used to just people having jobs like potters that are brown, the more we'll get to equality. I got my two hands up. One is up to ask a question, and the other is up because I have the answer to prove to you I can make something beautiful out of dirt. I'm resourceful. I am ghetto. I am brown. I'm you. Let's find each other in the dirt and create a vessel in which we can drink from ourselves, our knowledge, our experiences, on a table where everyone's invited. A place where our differences are what makes us most desirable. A curriculum where hate is put up against love and finally loses.